never think small. If you're watching this video, you probably heard the term growth mindset before. Or maybe you've seen like motivational speakers on stage telling you never think small. Well, one of the biggest self-improvement mistakes that people are making is that they only understand that concept on a surface level. So in this video, I'm going to dive deep with you on how you can come from a limiting mindset, a thinking small mindset, so to say, to getting into a growth mindset where achieving your goals in terms of making more money and having your dream social circle is going to become so much more easier for you. So when I was first introduced to the concept of having like a growth mindset and not thinking small, there's a couple of different things that I've tried that didn't really work out for me. I've tried like creating all types of different vision boards. I've tried to do affirmations in the morning, basically screaming in my backyard, I am the one, I am the best, I can achieve anything in my life, and my neighbors thinking that I'm literally crazy, which was funny, but it didn't really bring me any results. So what the problem there is all of those techniques are amazing, but fundamentally on a foundation, they're not really fixing the internal problem that you have in order for you to come from a thinking small mindset to getting into a growth mindset. And the reason I know this, like after spending tens of thousands of dollars on coaching programs and jumping on thousands of sales calls and different business meetings, after I fixed this one thing, I was able to sell millions over the phone just using my skills to influence myself so I can influence other people and change their life for the better so I can live my dream life. So instead of you having to spend tens of thousands of dollars and years of hard work learning this, I'm going to walk you through my journey of experiencing this and giving you a clear step-by-step system so you can download this growth mindset into your brain and reap all of the benefits out of it. So let's dive right into it. So the first thing we gotta do is understand what the thinking small mindset actually is. Because if we can understand it, we can transform ourselves out of it. So let me pull up this drawing that I made for you so we can actually dive right into understanding what the thinking small mindset looks like. So as you can see in this drawing, the thinking small mindset is relatively easy to understand. So it's people that are always continuously inside of their comfort zone. And the reason why they are inside of their comfort zone is because they're always philosophizing, overthinking, and they have overanalyzation, which leads to paralyzation. So they really like have a hard time taking action because they're always inside of their head. And you can remember, if you're inside of your head, you are literally dead. So what thinking small mindset really means is that you wake up every single morning and you have repetitive thoughts which leads to the same emotions because you always identify yourself as like being an introvert person, being a humble person. So your identity leads to a way of thinking which imprisons you inside of your comfort zone. But your comfort zone isn't even that comfortable if you're honest with yourself. If you're watching this video, you're definitely a person that wants to improve himself or herself. You definitely want to make more money, have better communication and influencing skills. So you don't even want to be stuck in the situation you're in right now, but you really have a hard time escaping it. Why is that the case? And the reason why you're stuck inside of there, even though you don't even want to be there, is because you don't have control over your brain and emotions anymore. Like you're always thinking the same way. For example, let's say this person right now inside of their comfort zone, they would love to leave their job behind and start a business. Now, whenever they try to leave that circle, their thoughts and emotions are attacking them. So your system right now is wired, quite literally, your system is wired in a way where it is keeping you stuck. So when you want to start a business, your brain is telling you, hey, should I really do this? Should I not do this? What happens if I do that? What happens if I fail? What happens if I'm not going to make it? What will my family think about it? What will my friends think about it? It's literally like, it's already annoying, right? Like you're literally paralyzed of taking action. So you are always stuck inside of your head. And your brain is wired in that way because it wants to keep you safe to some degree. But you gotta realize safety is being actually imprisoned and living a life that you don't even want to live. And the reason why it's so painful to be in here, just think about this for a moment. This is a great mental exercise. If there would be someone that is literally locking you inside of a cage, imagine that for a moment. There's someone that keeps you from living your dream life. There's someone keeping you in their basement and you're not able to escape. Would you attack that person so that you can escape that prison? Obviously you will be doing that, right? Like that, it makes sense. So if you are right now the person that is imprisoning yourself, you're also attacking yourself, and that's why so many people are in agony. They're sitting in their room all day long and they're thinking about, hey, I don't know if I should do this. Like, I'm thinking about starting a business and investing into myself, but I don't know, like, what if I fail? Like, what if that happens? This is driving you crazy. You're literally torturing yourself. So finding the key to escape is so important. But before I give you the key, let's actually talk about what the growth mindset looks like and what all benefits you gain from implementing and downloading it into yourself. Say you eliminate the thinking small mindset, you open up the prison, and now you have a growth mindset. So you can imagine right now those funny purple lines as basically having everything expanded to you. Instead of you being limited, you have an open mind to everything. Instead of overthinking, you just go out there and you take action. Instead of overthinking about should you like do maybe a public speaking gig or not, you're just getting out there on stage and you're getting the feedback. You just pick up the phone, you call people and you sell them your service and you get the feedback. You just approach different people, you try to network and you get the feedback right away. And you're not limited, you are not afraid because you have a completely expanded paradigm where you don't have any limitations. You know there's unlimited resources out there. You know that you can really get everything that you want to get. So imagine that type of person right now. And to give you an example of this, a great person that is really embodying a growth mindset is the CEO of Spanx. So I don't know a lot about the product itself, which is basically some amazing leggings, but I know a lot about her and her mindset. So many people told her that this is not a good idea. So many people told her that she's not going to be able to make it. And obviously, like, she had doubt. She had those repetitive thoughts sometimes, but she didn't let those thoughts control herself. She kept on being relentless. She just kept on hunting after her goals until she achieved it and became a self-made billionaire. And having that mindset does not just come with making a lot more money, it also comes with you, like finding out what your talents are. Because instead of you just overthinking about, hey, like, should I start playing the piano or not? Should I start playing chess or not? You just go out there and you try it and you will actually see if you have talents for things or not. The next thing is high status, right? Because if you're not limited, but you really expanded, it shows that you have your own frame and that you live in your own reality. Because if you're able to do a lot of different things without being limited, it shows that you have that self-confidence to put yourself out there. It shows that you're not always in your head, but you're really present, which is really attractive and charismatic. So this really allows you also to become high status and have a lot easier time in business and negotiations. Also, because you're not in your head all the time, you really have a lot more dynamic, where you take a lot more action, and just being in movement and doing different things will open you up to a lot more opportunities. So even if you're right now someone that doesn't even know like what you want to do, just by having that mindset and getting out there, you will have so many opportunities where you will really also find what you've really meant to be doing. So this will also allow you to find your vision, your mission a lot easier. And obviously that will also lead to more growth and expansion, but also a different thing to understand is instead of having the I can't mindset, where you're always saying to yourself, yeah, I cannot play chess. Yeah, I cannot talk to the people that I'm attracted to. Yeah, I cannot really like do business. I cannot do sales. I cannot do marketing, whatever. You're going to say all the time instead of I can't, I would have never. Because now you're going out there and you have experiences that you've never had in your whole life. And you're going to say, man, I would have never have done this 1 year ago. Man, 1 year ago, I would never have done that. So you're going to say to yourself continuously that you would have never done this thing, because now you're going to have a complete new world, because this prison is going to open up and you have the whole world in front of you. Let's talk about the most important and final step. How can you break free out of that prison and being able to reap all of the benefits of having the growth mindset? And as you can see here, yet again we have a quite funny drawing, but let me explain it to you step by step so it will be super clear for you. So let's say that you're still inside of that prison, and right now you're trying to use positive thinking, you're trying to use vision boards, motivational videos in order for you to break out of that prison, but it isn't really working for you. And the reason for that is because you're trying to control your way out of there. And it's the same thing as going to sleep. Like if you try to force yourself to go to sleep and you're like, hey, I gotta wake up tomorrow, I have a meeting tomorrow, I gotta get to work, will it become easier for you to really go to sleep? Obviously it isn't going to become easier for you. So the process of being able to escape that prison is not one of forcing, it's one of letting go, just like with sleeping. So how does letting go look like? So you can think about your brain kind of like a car. So you're sitting in the car, and let's say now you want to go to start a sales call. You want to cold call a lead that you want to acquire for your business, for example. And now all of a sudden when you want to take that action to break out of the prison, your brain is telling you, don't do it, they're going to say no, you're going to get rejected, you're going to die, and then you're going to feel anxiety, and then you're not going to do it. And let's say now you're going to try to fight against it. Come on, I just gotta do it. Come on, like, I don't care. Like, I'm the best. I can achieve it. And you're saying all of those things, and you're basically trying, like you're sitting in the car and you're trying to press the brakes. Like you're trying to get the car to hold. Like you pedal to the metal. You want to brake the car. But what you gotta realize, your brain is like a car with only gas pedals. So if you try to force it, the thoughts are just going to get worse. Same way as with sleeping. If you're trying to force it, it's going to be just becoming harder to fall asleep. So trying to control your thoughts doesn't work, because if you try to like avoid having a negative thought, you're just giving it more energy and you're manifesting it even faster. Another example for you not having control over your brain is, let me just ask you to not think about a pink elephant riding a bicycle right now. So if you're like most people out there, you did think about that pink elephant riding the bicycle. It's because you're not in control over your brain. So instead of you like hitting the gas pedal or trying to brake the car, what you gotta realize is that you are not attached to the car. You just gotta step outside of it and just let the car do its thing. So what do I mean by that? The same thing as with the CEO of Spanx. When she heard all of those no's again and again, obviously her brain was telling her, be afraid. Like, what happens if we don't make it? Like, what happens if we lose all our money? Obviously, like her brain told her that, but instead of her engaging with those thoughts, she was just like, okay, this is horrible. Let me keep on doing the work. So it's just about not giving it energy. It's just about not engaging. It's about letting go and keep on doing the task. And I had the same exact thing going on for me, right? I failed at 3 businesses before I finally had a breakthrough. And obviously I was thinking about, hey, will my next business be a failure again? Will I not be able to make it? Will I have to go back to having a normal 9 to 5? I was thinking all of those things, but instead of me engaging and wrestling with those thoughts, I was just not engaging with it. I stepped outside of the car and I was just looking at the car from a 10-meter distance or a 20 feet distance, whatever. So what you gotta realize is that you are not your thoughts. You cannot identify with your thoughts because those thoughts have been wired inside of you. But it's not you. You are the person that wants to have this amazing life, and all of the doubt and fear, it isn't you. So instead of you identifying with your thoughts and being inside of the car, you gotta become the observer of your thoughts and emotions. And then you're going to be outside of that prison. It's still going to happen, like that car is still going to go round and round. Like those emotions, those thinking processes, those thoughts, they're still going to be there, but you're not going to engage in them and you're going to look at them as an observer. And I know this is really high level and hard to understand, but let me show it to you right now practically. Let me ask you, what is the next thought that you're going to think? And take your time now. What is the next thought you're going to think? And if you did that exercise right now, you will have been able to observe that it got really quiet inside of your brain. So instead of you thinking about, hey, like, what will I do after this video? Like, what do I have to do after this? Like, do I have homework tomorrow? Do I have like a business meeting tomorrow? It will have been really quiet. Because if you ask yourself, what is my next thought going to be? You will act as that observer. You will start observing your thoughts and you're going to disengage and disidentify from them. And if you master this and do this all of the time, what will happen is that you go out there, you do things that you've never have done before. There's still going to be a thought of, hey, like, don't do this. Like, what happens if we're not going to make it? And you're just going to disengage. You're going to look at your brain doing those things to you, and you're going to just smile and laugh about it. You will be like, ha ha ha, I know what my brain is doing here. I'm just going to do it anyways. If you want to approach someone and your brain says don't do it and you feel anxiety, you're going to be like looking at the situation, you'll be like, ha ha ha, I know what you're trying to do here, and you're just going to do it anyways. So you're going to approach situations like a child with humor, like you've already done in the past, without having all of those wired thoughts and emotions in you now that you've become an adult. So as you can see, children are doing this all of the time. Children truly have the growth mindset. And that's also why they learn so fast. They're not afraid of like, can I play the piano or not? They're just getting there and they're just clicking on all of the different types of buttons or whatever it's called. Or they just step up, like they stand up, they walk, they fall down, they don't give a, and then they just stand up again and they walk again. And do that again and again until they know how to walk. Same thing with talking. They make mistakes, they don't care, and then they know how to talk, right? They learn so fast because they approach everything like a child with a growth mindset. They're not have anything wired in their brain yet, and they're just living life. They're fully expanded. That's why we love them. So you gotta become like a child. So what do you gotta do now exactly? You gotta put yourself in as many situations as possible where you're going to get triggered. Like you gotta put yourself in situations like doing the sales call where you feel, should I really do this? You gotta approach people where you feel like, I don't know if I really should approach them. So whenever you feel those triggers, that is going to give you an opportunity to become self-aware of this prison that you've created and create more distance to the prison where you're finally going to be able to be in control of your life again. And this is going to be hard because your thought patterns, your emotional patterns, we are literally addicted to them. They literally have been ingrained to you. So removing them is going to be painful. So what you gotta realize, whenever you go out there and you do something that you're afraid of doing, just think about this. What is going to be more painful? Just going through those emotions now and just doing it anyways? Or what is my life going to look like if I keep on doing the same things for another 10 and 20 years, and if I stay stuck inside of the prison? How is my life going to look like then 30 or 40 years from now? And think about that future if you're not going to fix the problem. Is that the life you truly want to live? I don't think so. What do you think? So by not giving that prison, that limiting mindset any energy anymore, by disengaging, letting those thoughts happening, just looking at that car going round and round, just laughing about it and just not engaging, you don't give that prison any energy anymore, and the prison is going to dissolve over time, where you're going to live in the growth mindset and have a beautiful life and going to experience a life so sweet like honey. So next steps, if you have any questions about this, write it down in the comment below. If this video was helpful, give me a like and hit the subscribe button. And I have another video created about how you can become a person of integrity and trust. So once you go out there, you take a lot more action now. You're also able to understand how people trust you more. So they give you their time, money, and their energy so much more easily. So check out that video somewhere here, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!